One, two, 1, 2. Here we go again. HQ meet and greet sessions here on the air. Grasny with you, which means dirty in Russian. We here with my buddies, Mr. and Mrs. Skittlez. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Legends here again. So let's start this. We're super stoked to have you here, guys, and our followers just when they go through like a lot of questions. There is a lot of like interest about what you do, what you represent in our sector, in our cannabis sector. So please, if you can, just in few words, present yourself, like your roots. Let's talk about roots, where your family coming from, like a little bit. How come you began smoking weed, like something like that.
I'm gonna let you start.
No, women's first.
Oh, women's first. Okay, all right. So originally I was born in Southern California, and then moved when I was very little, like practically born. And then I've been raised in Mendocino County my whole life. So graduated from a small school there, and then that's pretty much it. Homegrown in Mendo as far as I can remember. My dad grew, my uncles, everybody. It was just something normal, I guess. It's like getting up and making breakfast. They just went to the farm instead. As we were little, we were still on the farm. I was always on the farm or in the trim house or whatever. I mean, we call them not like camps, but people would come and stay. Like they would stay for like months at a time with us. So it wasn't like a one-off thing. Like they became family. I would be the kid that made sandwiches or the soup or whatever. So everybody was fed. So I mean, it's been around since I can really remember.
What about you, bro?
So I'm born and raised in Mendocino County. Born in Willits when you could still, definitely Bendo since I was created.
I still have the little.
I actually, my parents didn't grow. My uncles grew, but I didn't know that till I was about 26 years old. So I came into cannabis kind of like on my own, and like as we say, like in Mendocino County, a lot of people do come up. Their parents grow, so they get grows and properties handed down to them. Like for me, it was I kind of came into it on my own and create, just basically like started a love for it, like smoked weed like my first time when I was in 8th grade. And then from there just kind of fell in love with it and came from smoking to cultivating. When I was like 15 years old, I threw a grow up in my mom's, backyard, and she finally found it, but it was kind of too late. So
remember, you used to have.
I used to carry water buckets up a hill to go water my plants, because they were kind of hidden a little bit, and then they got big, and my mom's found him, and she was like, it was too big, by then to move them, so she was cool and let me roll, and from there, I got a taste for it, and just kind of went to now where we have, total square footage, in Mendocino County we're going like 50,000 square feet.
Thanks a lot, both of you again here in HQ. Always welcome here, and not everyone is welcome here. I'm gonna be straight again. You know me, I'm like that. So I'm gonna get it really directly to the first and the most interesting question is to you, bro. Is how did you get around to the Skittles cross?
So I used to cultivate with a gentleman named Bob, and together we got a strain that we didn't really know what it was, came to us. Bob was my ex-father-in-law. So we worked together. We had a small indoor grow together. We got some clones in that we didn't know what they were. They were supposed to be cookies, and they weren't, and nothing like it. And it was super fire. So I took the cut, and Tony and I, my partner, grew. We had a grape ape, grapefruit, like Humboldt County grapefruit is what we used to call it. Like some people that are older school than both of us used to call it, say it was BC grapefruit, but as far as we knew, it came to us as Humboldt County grapefruit. It was always what the name of it was. So Humboldt County Grapefruit crossed Grape Ape, and that male we hit to that selection that we didn't really know what it was. And from there we hunted, a small, we actually didn't have the greatest success with the breeding, and we hunted a small pheno selection, found Skittlez, and that's where it sits.
All right, great. Do you feel that there are people trying to copy or replicate who say that they were first to create this strain?
I don't know if there's so many people trying to say that they were the first to create the strain. I think it's pretty well known that we are and will always be the creators of the strain. I definitely know there's a lot of people, with the success that we've had, trying to do the same thing, or which is great, but also bootlegging, stealing our branding. It's humbling in a way, because it gives me validation that we did something correct. If we're speaking specifically about a certain person, that person did not create Skittlez. I don't think he really claims he created Skittlez, but it's more of trying to downplay what we actually did. And I'm here to say that it's just not facts. So we came up together with some other people that we all kind of helped power the strain and the brand forward. But as far as it goes, Tony Mendocino and I were the first people to have and create Skittlez.
I just trimmed and smoked it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, thank you. So one of our users one of our members asking if he wants to get the Skittlez genetics. So which seed bank should he trust?
So we just partnered up with Pure Sativa, so we're super stoked on that. That'll be our wholesaler for Europe, and so I believe that they will be wholesaling to a lot of different seed banks. So you'll be able to get our Skittlez hybrids through Pure Sativa, and then most likely through many other seed banks. So whoever he wholesales to. Platinum Seeds is the company to look for. That's supporting Terphogs, all Terphogs and Skittlez. That's the only official seed company that we work with that is us. That's myself and Tony and a couple of our select breeders that make the strains. And we take a lot of pride in what we do. We test all our lines. We work our lines. We do release F1s as well, because I know people like to hunt phenos. But we stand behind everything, and that's why we don't see us putting out 50 new strains whenever we feel like it, because what's in those boxes is what we say they are, and there's terps in every single one, meaning there's unique terp profiles in everything that we put out, and we know that because we test them and we keep selections of our own out of every single thing that we do. So everything you can get from us is going to be something quality, and that really means something to us.
Thanks again, bro. So next question to you is about who are your role models in the cannabis industry and why?
I actually have a few, but one that really stands out to me, I want to say, would probably be Team Landon Cannabis. Not necessarily as far as growing or anything, just for the movement that he and his mother have created. He's one of the first children to actually quit chemo and strictly use cannabis. And he was 2, and now he's 7, and he no chemo, beat cancer, and his mom was his words, obviously. And so they came from Colorado, or from Utah to Colorado. And it was super illegal for her, and so everything that she's done has been for her son, and it's just amazing to be able to watch her change childhood stigma with cannabis, really.
Yeah, thank you. Do you feel that there is a growing community of women involved in cultivation or just weed business? How about that?
I do.
Girls power?
Yes, I do. I actually have a lot to say about this almost, because it is growing, but more importantly than the women growing is that there has to be men and other people that stand behind those women. As much as we think that we can do it on our own and that we're very powerful, Yes, we are, but it still is a collaborative effort, and it's a whole community. So you need the man as well, and it's like a balanced relationship, as far as I feel. But if we're talking about like the industry, yeah, it's booming. It's women. I mean, we're talking not even just in cosmetics and like lotions and stuff like that. No, you have full, complete women growing, like owned businesses, everything, manufacturing. I mean, I can name like 2 or 3 women-owned, like Native Humble Farms, Space Gem Candy, like Ohm Edibles. I mean, there's women right there that are just.
You do edibles? You do edibles?
I do. I love edibles. Yes.
All right. Can you tell us about your day-to-day experience with edibles? Is it like one time a month, one time a week, one time?
I have edibles in my bag. I have edibles in my bag right now. So prior to me being a mother, I used to just like kind of mainly edibles, and so I was up to like almost like 1,500 milligrams. So that was before like licensing and regulation. So I just kind of like try, people's stuff, and it worked out. And then once we got licensed and stuff, I kind of can go up to like 500 now, but for the most part, I'm like good on any edible. Yeah, and I prefer only solventless, so like anything that's made with bubble hash and stuff like that.
What about you? You do edibles? you have this face, I know.
Bro.
He wants to talk about women.
No, the last time I ate too many edibles. You want to hear a funny story? You got a little second? So one of my trimmers, he's like, "Yo, can I take home some trim and make some cookies and shit?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, bro." So he makes like these orange cream cookies. They're fire, right? So I eat a couple, like 2. I'm like, I give one of my employees. I'm like, "Yo, you want one of these?" He's like, takes a bite. He's like, Nah. So I eat his, right? So I'm 2 3/4 cookies in, right? I go home. I'm like, "Hey, try these cookies." You know what I mean? She's like, "Yeah, I don't like them." You know what I mean? I like them. So then I'm like, "All right, whatever." I eat her cookie. So now I'm like a fat ass, like 3.5, 3 3/4 cookies in. I'm like, we're sitting on the couch. We're sitting. I don't know the dosage or anything. This is like, not. This is just homie cookies. You know what I mean? So we're sitting on the couch and we're smoking a joint, watching TV, and she passes me the joint. I'm like, nah, I can't smoke that right now. I'm like really, really fucking high right now. And then she tries to pass me a joint. Goes, I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm really fucking high." I'm like, "This is crazy." And like, I'm chilling. I'm like, "Yo, I smoke weed. I eat edibles. This is not, nothing crazy." I go to sleep, right? I'm laying down. Every time I go to sleep and like start to pass out, I stop breathing and I wake up like, "What the fuck?" So I go back. I have to go sit down, watch TV for a while. Like, so that's why I last real. Like, I chill on the edibles now. Yeah, I chill now. Like, I'll eat some Ohm edibles or some Space Gym candies. You know what I mean? In like one box, I'll be cool. Like, smoke weed, feel good, but I can't do it too crazy.
Okay, what about dabbing? How you two? Well, even like in percentage, daily usage. Let's say smoke, dab, edible.
Dab, mainly. I pretty much only dab. I'll rarely smoke flowers, mainly now because I just don't want the smell. Dabbing, you don't really get the smell at all. It just tastes really good. And then edibles, just for maintenance throughout the day.
Yeah, I was always the guy that showed up everywhere just smelling like a roach, like pretty much. Yeah, like it's like, yeah, that guy smokes weed for sure, So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, like just keep it real, like being in like nice hotels and shit like that, you can pretty much dab and it's cool, like you don't get caught, you don't smell like weed leaving it, can't show up somewhere smelling like you're not supposed to, smelling like weed, because we always get high, right? So we're going to smell like weed whether we think so or not. That's not the biggest reason for me. So like when I'm out, like we're out here in Barcelona, like I'm smoking more weed, you know what I mean? Because we're out and about. We go to the clubs, sit down, roll up. When I'm out with my friends, or like I'm in the studio, it's more like blunts and joints. But at home, it's pretty much all dabs. Like and I came on dabbing like more in the last like 6 years because the terps, bro. I mean, you know, like there's just things like in hash and in rosin and BHO concentrate, there's terpenes and monoterpenes that you just don't come through in flower, and you can smell a piece of flower and be like, oh my God, this smells amazing. Roll it up and it tastes like nothing. Whereas if you extract that same flower, you get exactly what you smell in the taste, and I love that.
I respect that. Um, Tell us about first time you smoked a joint.
The first time I smoked a joint, I tried to roll it myself, so it didn't really work out. And then it was an actual, no, it was a real joint because I never smoked blunts or backwoods or anything like that. So it's always been a joint. I tried to self-teach myself and it didn't really work, but I was 19 the first time I smoked a joint. And I was born and raised around it.
Yeah. You, this guy?
I think the first time I smoked a joint was probably like if I started in like 8th grade, like 9th grade, probably smoked a joint. Like we were more like spoon pipes at that point, like pack a bowl and hit it with the lighter, type shit. Yeah, and then after a while, like I just like wanted, like we smoked joints. Like I never knew how to roll, and then one day I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to roll this weed. I understand it's a tuck, you know what I mean? It's not a, so I kind of got it quick, and from there on, then I just started smoking joints.
What about hash? Like I know that this topic is not taboo. But it's not very popular in states. What is hash for you? What is this experience for you? Do you enjoy it? How you like it? How you like to smoke it?
So I will forever be a bubble hash girl, however you want to call it. Bubble, I don't know what they call isolator, anything. Yeah, that's me all day. If you can give me some amazing bubble, I'll finger press it and I'll dab it. I don't care about char. It's really not about what's left in your banger. It's about how it tastes. And a lot of times it is about melt, but if there's stuff left over, that's okay. But bubble hash all the way. Lately, because we're spoiled, we're obviously going to go with rosin because it's easier and you don't have to like clean up as much and there isn't as much involved, but solventless for sure.
So for me, yeah, same thing. I love hash. I love rosin. Started obviously just pretty much smoking flower, and like when I was younger, hash wasn't so much of a thing. It definitely wasn't viewed like by me. I didn't look at it like an artisanal like thing. I didn't look, and I don't honestly. What hash was around me when I was younger wasn't really artisanal, and I don't think that all hash is artisanal. You know what I mean? Like there's certain types that I kind of tend to like gravitate to. Is obviously like I guess for when I really started getting around hash, like one of my ex-partners pretty much is give him credit because he's a hash maker, and he kind of put me on to like the bubble hash game and like. And the work that goes into it. And so for me, it's special, and we took a huge period of our life like just dabbing huge sheets of hash and pressing it out and making everything into hash. And now then rosin came around, and we kind of now are more on rosin because it just seems like it's easier to dab, less cleanup. I pretty much prefer hash dabbing it. I will slather rosin on a paper blunt and smoke that too, but yeah, I love hash, and
we stay dabbing.
And I think rosin came around. We got to
you make weed joints with hash inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Slather.
Hell yeah, put some weed, then put a little hash in between, and then a little more weed, and roll it up. Yeah, definitely. I like that too. I enjoy that too. So I just want it to burn right when I do it.
All right. Is rosin a new hash? New form hash.
Yeah.
So yes, rosin is the because hash has char, particulate, and things like that. When it melts down, you have to clean the nail up. A lot of people don't understand or appreciate that situation. So like a lot of new dabbers or people new to this, like people that aren't like seasoned like us, they don't get that. Like I've smoked terpy hash that I had to like clean my nail soap so much,
every time.
So like. It dirties the water. It makes your piece nasty. Like all those things. It chars your banger, chases the banger, whatever. A lot of people don't understand or appreciate that. Rosin for me, I was around a lot of hash makers in Mendocino County. Like when rosin kind of became a thing. Like I had my old school buddy in the back of my head telling me that like rosin was such a thing. He's like, it's like milk. You can like take flour or hash and press it with heat. And I'm like, I literally told him he was full of shit. And then all of a sudden, soil-grown solventless starts making this wave with the rosin, and everybody falls in. And even the hash makers around me, so what they used it for was kind of to like the microns that were more charry, like 45s are usually more charry than like say 70s and 90s, right? Those are kind of the cream. So they used that and they would press that all. Like they would use the stuff that they wouldn't normally like, that would be harder to sell or people would bitch about when they get it. So you like have customers in 215 times that go, they couldn't afford the 70 or the 90, so they go buy a 45 and then they get on Instagram and complain about the char, right? But we all know the 45 is going to pretty much have some char unless you just have the most magical hash in the fucking world. So it all became those. So like for me, I came into rosin like dabbing whole plant fresh frozen hash rosin from the beginning. So we were kind of spoiled, and like it just went from there to where now I'm kind of like into rosin more than hash in general, because now I look at hash that has to be really good to smoke it, you know, because otherwise rosin is like hash without the char.
I still smoke bubble hash. I love all bubble hash.
You will come to our house and find large parchment sheets of hash like she did.
Brothers in hash. Have you ever competed with Skittlez rosin?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've competed and won with Skittlez rosin.
That's good. All right, so the last one is just some message to HQ followers that are right now, you know, checking us up. I don't know, anything.
Definitely.
Thank you.
My message would be to open your mind and be willing to travel and expand, especially if you do love cannabis. There is a whole other world inside to it than just being in California or the United States. And it's huge, and it's here, and it's at HQ, and it's amazing. So definitely come and check it out, because it's hard to explain because it's unlike any other experience. You know, it's amazing.
I'm just humbled to be out here, and the experience is humbling. Like to see all the love that we get out here, and you know, to have you ask us here is like huge. So you know, I really respect like the legends that are out here, like David, and you know, so shout out HQ. If you guys haven't been to HQ, definitely come down. The spot's beautiful and amazing. They treat you with respect here, and you can come get a drink, come play some pool, smoke a joint, take a dab. Place is fire.
Play chess.
All right, thanks a lot, bro. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased. I appreciate you here, both of you, because we had guys, we had girls, now a couple. You know, it's kind of cool thing. I want to break stereotypes and just let people understand we're just as the same as all other people, and that's what's up. Family is the people you grow with. Stay with us. Stay with HQ. Meet and greet. Bye. Ciao.